Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. The United States has really fallen flat on its face in the Sino-US chip war. Moreover, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce has also issued a notice to investigate those cheap chips in the United States. This announcement really made the world nervous. The Netherlands, which used to follow the United States to sanction China, is really different now. It directly turned against the United States and announced the complete cancellation of the ban on China's high-end lithography machines. This means that China will no longer have to worry about high-end lithography machines in the future. Although domestic research and development must continue to advance before China develops its own high-end lithography machines, with the support of ASML in the Netherlands, China can manufacture more advanced chips. In this way, China's semiconductor industry will definitely become more and more prosperous. 1. China announced the launch of an investigation into low-priced chips in the United States. The chip war between China and the United States actually kicked off in 2019. In the past 4 years, the United States has really tried all kinds of ways to suppress China's semiconductor industry. In particular, since August 2022, the United States has begun to use subsidies and tax cuts to support domestic companies to expand semiconductor production capacity and push low-priced chips into the Chinese market. This practice of the United States obviously violates the principle of fair competition in the global semiconductor industry and exacerbates the turmoil in the semiconductor industry. In order to cope with the long-term impact of low-priced American chips on the Chinese semiconductor market, the Ministry of Commerce decided to launch an investigation into these low-priced chips. China's actions have clearly sent a signal to the world: China is not at the mercy of others. Whoever wants to destroy our industrial development cannot do that. China has the confidence and ability to defend the country's industrial security and economic interests. Therefore, China's semiconductor industry can be said to have turned the tide against the wind. It has not been defeated by the United States' pursuit and blockade, but has become stronger and stronger. Those countries that used to follow the United States in imposing sanctions have now gained knowledge and know that the situation has changed, and no longer follow the United States in imposing bans. To be honest, the Chinese market is really a behemoth, and no country can escape it. If it is to decouple from China, it is simply digging its own grave, and there is no benefit. 2. The current status of China's semiconductor industry development. Look at this set of figures. When the United States first started to attack China's semiconductor industry in 2019, China's chip exports were $101.5 billion. After several years of tossing and turning, this figure has risen to $159.5 billion, which shows that the US semiconductor sanctions are really a failed attempt. In addition, in the field of mature process chips, China's share of the global market has reached 34% last year, which is almost doubled compared with 2023. The chip war that the United States is engaged in now is really a waste of money. This year, China's global market share of mature process chips has a great hope of breaking through 50%. Some friends may ask, this mature process chip does not seem to be a high-end chip. What is the real significance of such a high market share? To be honest, mature process chips have a wider range of applications than those high-end chips, and the market potential is much greater. How to say it? China's mobile phones, home appliances, various smart products, communication base stations, industrial control equipment, and even new energy vehicles basically use mature process chips, and this demand alone accounts for more than 70% of the global chips. Therefore, China's market control in the field of mature process chips is equivalent to holding the lifeline of the world in our hands. This will not only promote the further development of China's high-end chips, but also put pressure on the US supply chain in turn. It is really a win-win situation. Although the United States clamors to decouple from China, you can see that many of the mature process chips they use are actually imported from China. Why? This is due to China's sound industrial system. Our mature process chips are low in cost and high in cost performance, which is really cost-effective. Because of this, the US blockade of China has failed. You think China's mature process chips are cost-effective? Who doesn't love it? In the global market, it is really a hot product. In addition, China's supply is large, the price and performance are both great, and it is relatively easy to sell. Having said that, although mature process chips are low-end basic chips, those high-end chips in the United States and the West are also made step by step from this. If China's mature process chip market is stabilized, the entire industry chain will be able to take off and eventually make new progress in the fields of lithography machines and high-end chips. Simply put, this is a growth process from basic to high-end. I believe that China will be able to overtake in the corner soon. Now the United States has capsized in the battle against Chinese chips. Even their Ministry of Commerce has admitted it. As a result, these US allies no longer need to follow the sanctions. You think they lost the big Chinese market, and the economic loss is not small. Now, with ASML in the Netherlands taking the lead, China can finally get access to more high-end chip products. This is really good news. This is a great opportunity for our Chinese chip industry. Some industry experts predict that within 3 years, domestic semiconductor companies in China will be able to catch up with TSMC's chip production level, which is very exciting. The era of China's semiconductor industry has really come, and it will definitely become the backbone of global technological progress in the future.